What's up, guys? Welcome back to Rise and Grind. Happy Monday. Last week we were in the middle of the jungle, and now we're back in the studio here. So much going on right now. We have a lot. So I want to first dive off into the fact that I can't believe that we're literally like, is this the last week in September? No, we have 2 weeks left in September.
A week and a half. No, I think next week is the last full week, but okay. Yeah, just about.
But so literally we're almost at Q4, which is so insane. I feel like every year we sit there, we have a conversation, we start to plan, and the next thing you know, the year is like almost over.
This year went exceptionally fast though, didn't it?
Yes.
Like I feel like we blinked and all of a sudden we're at the end of the year. I don't want to wish the year away either, but it's like the best time of year too with the holidays fall. And there's so much going on.
Yeah.
So it's going to go even faster. So it's so important if you aren't on track with your goals, find a way to create a game plan because time will keep flying by.
I will say, I went through, so like every year I typically, Jack and I, like personal and business, I'll like set goals like towards the end of the year. And this was the first year I started to actually look at and be like, I uploaded them into ChatGPT and I was like, hey, I want you to assess my goals. Here's ones I've already completed. Here's ones I haven't. Give me a daily game plan to achieve all these so I can bite size them. And so I literally just did this yesterday. So I don't know what the results are going to look like, but either way, I thought that was cool because I was having some conversations around the things that I haven't achieved yet and all this other stuff. One thing though that I'm super pumped about, is that I was sick the past few weeks. My whole family was sick for the past like 3 or 4 days. And one of my goals were to be like at a certain weight. and I'm there right now because I haven't really eaten all weekend. I'm like, but yesterday, because obviously the Jets were on and they were going to lose and disappoint me. So I was like, I got to eat a ton tomorrow so that I can make sure that like, obviously, because I felt better.
Yeah.
And so I ate a bunch, like, damn, now I'm not going to be the weight I was anymore now.
Oh my God. You got to burn it off now.
Right. Well, no. So I woke up this morning and I was still the same weight.
Magic.
Yeah. And I'll be transparent. Like my goal is to be at 195.
Okay.
And prior to that, I was sitting at 205, 200, whatever. But from where I used to be, where I was like stuck at 220. So like I lost that weight. But then I was like, I want to get to 195. And so I'm there because of being sick. So I made it. But now let's see if we keep it off. Yeah, I know. But we'll keep it off. But anyway, my point though is with that particularly, that's what I was talking to ChatGPT about. And so she is devising a plan for me. So we'll see what happens.
Oh, I love that for you. What a good way to use ChatGPT too.
Yeah.
To break down your goals.
I'll never forget one of my first few clients that was in the salon business. I'm not going to say any names, but this lady, I told her I was supposed to come out and do like a photo shoot. This is when I was doing all the photos and stuff myself. So I was like, hey, I would come, but like I just had the stomach virus, so I can't, like I don't want to get you sick. And she's like, no, come, I need to lose a couple pounds. I thought she was joking. And literally I came and she was like, no, seriously, like
that's so toxic.
I know. I was like, damn, I couldn't believe she was saying that.
Oh no, drink water, eat a salad, go for a walk.
But I don't think she ever wound up getting sick anyway.
Well, good thing.
But she was open to it though.
That's the last thing I would want. If I had to choose the sickness, I wouldn't want the stomach bug. That's for sure.
Hell no.
No.
I'm the biggest biatch when it comes to stomach things.
Me too.
I am a baby. Get me up in a blanket.
When I'm sick
not leaving
in general,
bed.
It's actually like the very few times we get sick, it reminds you of how much you take being healthy for granted.
Yo, for real.
It's like you can breathe normally and move around normally and your energy levels are sustained. And yeah, don't get sick. And we're moving into 6th season, which is even worse. So
I know.
Stay healthy,
and the fact
self-care.
that it's typical Vigaro fashion for us to the whole family to get sick right before it.
Yeah.
So like, we're kind of prepared. I don't know. I guess in a way now we have like a little bit of antibodies for shit, but
we've got like a whole football crew over there.
I know. But nonetheless, Jack said that the other day, where it was like, I cannot wait to be healthy again. Like, so we take that for granted.
Yeah.
And it's so true.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And then you just think about all the things you can do when you're feeling healthy. But
yeah.
All right, you need to show your phone because I am still mind blown.
Yeah, we talked about it. So I boom, here we go.
It is so thin.
We got the Air. It is really light. I think the best comparison I can give this is it feels like the iPhone 6 that had like the rounder edges and like it was super light. Actually, I have every iPhone that I've ever had still, funny enough.
Do you really?
So I have from the second iPhone all the way to
we need to get a pic. Oh no. in our office, we need to get a wall and put them all on the wall as display of the
closest deal on this one.
We'll make it art.
But yeah, but honestly, no, it's interesting. It's cool. I got it because I was like, remember, I switched to the Android because I was so over Apple doing the same shit over and over and over again. And they're still doing the same shit over and over and over again, obviously. I mean, the cameras are different. Emily and I were having the conversation already. And it was like, I wanted to get this because it's the only different thing that they have right now versus like, because the phone that I had previous 14 Pro Max, like, and the new one literally look the same, but just there's a different camera bar. Like, but
do you notice that camera, because there's only one camera on that
there's only one,
compared
right?
to like the 3 on the other ones.
Right. So the only thing that I don't like, right, is that I can't do 0.5 on this.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so I can't do 0.5. But I'm like, how often do you use 0.5? So I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
But I can't do 0.5. That's really the camera thing. And I don't believe I can do portrait mode on this. Actually, no, I think I can. It's really and I can't super zoom.
Oh.
So you know,
but then again, it's like, how often do you super zoom?
I know.
Like that?
A commercial where like there's like a girl like all the way across the lake, and it looks like she's right there, and then they zoom all the way out.
I just saw that.
Yeah, so like that, I for sure can.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm like, when do I do that shit?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
When do you do that?
When you look at all the fancy cameras we have in front of us and like those types of things, it's like, oh, like for business, yeah, like we have that stuff, but for personal, I'm like, when am I ever doing this shit? So I don't know. The camera's pretty cool, but the one thing I will say is pretty cool about the newer phones is that when you set up the phone, in the setup, it has you run through if you want a stock filter on every photo you take. So so I selected like an amberish one, so that like every time I take a picture, it's kind of like a little amberish tint. Like,
no way,
yeah,
that's so interesting.
So that you don't have to always go and change.
The option to flip it back to
the
original.
Yeah, but it's just you don't have to do it if you don't want to.
That's cool.
But I'm like, damn, that's pretty interesting.
That's a content creator's dream.
Yeah, right. So I don't know. So far, it's pretty cool. We'll see what happens.
I just can't get over how thin it is. That's really insane.
I thought it was gonna be a little bit thinner, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, but
because I do think that that's pretty thin.
I will say though, it does, like with my 14 Pro Max, when it's in my pocket and I'm walking around like a basketball shorts, it feels like I have like an anchor attached to my shorts.
Really?
With this, if I'm walking around, I forget it's in my pocket.
Oh yeah.
Like it's so light, I forget it's in my pocket. So that's pretty cool.
That is really cool.
But we'll see. I mean, again, I'm underwhelmed at like we're with the same stuff as we have, and also because I'm in the Apple developer program beta. So all like before like the new iOS came out, like you probably don't even have it yet, do you?
I don't know. I need a new phone.
So Megan, no, you could update your software, but essentially I've had the 26 beta for like 3 or 4 months now.
Oh wow.
So like I'm used to obviously the liquid glass and the cool stuff they already have in the new phones, but I don't know. We'll see. Let's talk about, since we're talking about devices and hardware, let's talk about that.
Yeah, let's talk about Meta's Ray-Ban display release, which is super cool. We had talked about this a few months ago. We saw a little teaser on it. They were using the AI glasses for finding if you had lost a book or couldn't find your keys, you would be able to ask where it was, and it would go back and tell you your keys are on the console, or the book is to the 3rd shelf on the right, even if you glanced at it very momentarily. And now they're coming out. I think you can purchase them at the end of this month. For retail.
Already?
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is really exciting. Cool. And there's just, I mean, to me, those glasses are something you saw out of a movie years ago where it was like the spy glasses, where you can see
Spy Kids.
Yeah, that's what I think of. Like you can see your text messages coming through and the directions, or it's identifying. What's really cool about these glasses is it can translate languages in real time.
That is really cool.
So it's opening up doors of communication.
The new AirPod Pros also have that.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah, but were you and Emily both around for Spy Kids? Were you guys?
We sure were.
Were you?
Yeah.
Yeah. What year were you born?
Don't let our skincare fool you.
I know. She's fooling me.
I was born 1994.
You're 94? Okay, yeah. So, and you were 2000 what?
Just kidding. Nice joke.
What year were you born?
95.
95. Oh, see that? We got a baby in the room. Yeah. Megan, you're always the youngest.
I sure am.
You are always the youngest.
Sure am, but always the smartest.
Megan is always the fucking youngest. Goddamn. But anyway, but to that point though, with Spy Kids and all the cool crap, it's like, it really is though. The fact that you can see a text and you can see emails, and you can see like stuff on your glasses is such a cool feature that I think it's going to change the game. And obviously, Sam Altman came out with Johnny Ives from the old Apple designer, and they were talking about how they're about to launch a device, and it's going to be completely hands off. This kind of reminds me of probably what we're going to see. It's devices that have displays that you don't have to like click and move your fingers and do things.
Oh yeah,
It's like
I
just
saw
prompted.
that. It's called
So-
I think Hypernova or something like that, where it's
Really? They came out
yeah,
with a name already? Oh.
where it's based on well, I don't know, we might be talking about two different things, but these glasses are coming out with the second rendition of that called Hypernova, where it's completely hands off, and there's like a headset or something that you put on. It's like a headband or something, and it tracks the motion of your head, so you can do whatever you need to on the glasses. I don't know if that's what you're talking about.
No, I don't think so. Because I don't think because it's an open AI device that's coming out.
Oh, okay, so different because this is by Meta.
Yeah. Oh, it's by Meta. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. So essentially, this is like an open AI / Johnny Ives like combo. But either way, it's gonna be really interesting to be able to like be in your glasses and like just see things. I just wonder how clear it's gonna be, because the example that Zuckerberg had on the Meta video that they just put out, it looked a little janky. Like when it was actually on his glasses, like the video was projecting of his glasses. So it'll be really interesting to see what that looks like, though. I'm really pumped, but it's weird because like the future is now. I'm just like waiting for the flying cars now. Like, why don't we have flying cars right?
Yeah.
Like, where are they? Like,
You know what's so funny? I actually just saw a commercial, and I want to say it was for a car company, and I can't remember who it is now. It's going to drive me crazy, but they were talking about the future, and they all had flying cars in it, and I'm
Right.
like, what do you know that we don't?
right. Well, I
Like-
remember when I was younger, my mom always said that. She's like, by the time you drive, there's gonna be flying cars.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, really? You think so? And then fucking no flying cars anywhere in sight.
Your
I mean,
Tesla was pretty close.
it was, right? I was gonna say, like the full self-driving is so futuristic. now.
Yeah.
But I mean, how cool would it be? Like, think about this. So the obviously we're not going to fully drop this just yet, but our new potential undisclosed location
hmm
like is a 20-minute helicopter ride to New York City,
Yeah.
right? But if you had a flying vehicle, that means you get to New York in 20 minutes.
So I immediately think of like, what does the air traffic become? Like, are we going to see like traffic in the air the way that you see traffic
Well, yeah, it's
on
good.
the ground?
Yeah, I don't know, but the way I don't know enough about like air traffic control stuff.
Yeah.
But the only thing I can compare it to, like that's similar, is driving a boat, right?
It's pretty similar.
So when you're driving a boat, there's certain areas where you have to follow, like, you have to go with the flow of the waterway, right? So now there's certain buoys that'll be like, you can't go faster. There's no wake zone, which means you can't like rev the engine, right? And all these other things, right? So with air, I'm assuming obviously when you're in secured areas, like whatever else, you have to like do certain things, go certain elevations. But when you're in open water, there's no rules. Like you're just going, right? And I would assume, I don't know, but I would assume it's the same thing up in the air, right? Because it's whatever.
And I'm
But-
thinking like 20 minutes to get to New York. You could also get to California in, well, you probably can't travel at the speed of a jet,
Mm-mm.
but
Right.
it still wouldn't take
it would
us
take a long time.
Yeah.
But it would be way faster than driving.
Yeah, way faster. That's
know?
crazy.
Yeah. So nonetheless, it's like, I don't know, whatever. We're talking about this, but there's a lot of different companies that are startup companies that are trying to do it. But I'm really, really amped up to see what happens. But while we're talking about this real quick, I heard this literally yesterday and I had to say it. So this guy was talking about all the things that Elon Musk is doing right now and how it's essentially preparing for what he's going to do on Mars. And so it was talking about why we need robots, right? And he's like, because you can't bring like millions of humans to Mars to build things, right? Like it's not sustainable right now. So robots are going to go do that. So he's like, why are we going to be? He's building all these Optimus robots that he's building right now, and he's like, we're going to release them. And he's like, because they're going to be testing so they can start building and doing things. Then he's talking about the Boring Company that's building tunnels throughout California and try to get that Hyperloop from Cali to New York.
Yeah.
And he's like building these tunnels and testing these loops. And it's like, because on Mars, we're not going to be able to live on the surface all the time. So he's building underground tunnels and testing it so that he could do that in Mars and
Oh
build
my
out Hyperloops and
gosh.
like underground like
So he's
civilization.
using us as a test.
And then he's like
basically.
solar, right? Because he has solar with Tesla and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like sustainable energy out there. Like you're not gonna have gas, right? Like so you have to live off sun. So everything he's doing right now, which is insane, is sustainable. It's great for the Earth,
Right.
but it's also something that he's gonna need to have in space because where's he gonna get power from? Like you need panels. You need obviously sustainable energy through panels, right? You need to have, because you can't live on the surface, right? So you need underground tunnels, which he's building with the boring company.
Oh my god!
And then you need robots to build all this stuff. So when we get there, there's stuff there.
This is so crazy.
So it's like I heard this, I'm like, damn.
Did you watch Dune at all? Did
No,
you
I
see
didn't.
the movie Dune?
No.
You should watch it. You might like it.
Yeah.
But it kind of reminds me of that. It's a little bit more fantasy, but you can't live on the surface. It's too hot. You have to live all underground. It's a completely different way of life.
Right.
But that's wild to think about. To even know where to start with that. Like if someone asked you, hey, build a life on this, different planet, you'd be like, all right, well,
We would be fucked.
one, don't know how to get there.
I would not be that
No,
guy.
I am not the person to do that.
I think about that often where it's like being the first person, or the first few people in civilization ever. Could you imagine? Being
No.
the first few people.
No,
ever.
trying to figure things out.
That's what I'm saying. Like food, life, fire, like building shelter. Like,
No.
like what?
I think about this a lot, actually,
Yeah.
more so in the sense of, let's say something happened and our power grid shut down, or we just had to live off of survival instincts. I am a goner. Like I just don't think that I could hunt for myself. I couldn't eat something that was hunted like that. Like I just.
You're more resourceful than you think. I think.
Yeah.
You're saying that now because you're not like having to do it. But if you had to do it as life or death, I think you'd figure it out. You wouldn't
I
want
would
to
figure it out. I wouldn't want to.
You would
Yeah.
have to. You would have to. You know what I mean? Like that's the problem right now is you don't have to, right?
Thank God.
Emily and Moo would be treacherous.
Yeah, Moo would be,
It'd be
so
adventurous.
scared.
Where would you go?
I'm with Meg on that. I don't think I would make it.
But you could eat plants.
I could eat plants, yeah, but I couldn't hunt something. Like, what if I had to survive on an island with like fish or something? I would die.
You don't eat fish?
No, I don't like seafood.
Oh.
Actually,
Do you eat meat at all?
No.
Oh, so you don't eat any? So you just eat what? What do you eat?
Carbs.
French fries.
It's like fucking wow, really? So what's
I'm
actually your
vegetarian,
diet?
yeah. So like vegetables, fruits, carbs,
Wow.
proteins.
Are you serious?
I feel like you would actually live pretty well then because you'd be able to find things
be
of the
like eating
land and be like.
Most of us would be like, this
No.
sucks. And Emily's like, I'm in heaven.
Yeah.
So now nobody can just touch animals anymore?
Yeah.
That's
I
crazy.
don't think I'd survive.
How long have you been, what is it?
Vegetarian.
How long have you been veg for?
Like 3.5 years.
Wow. No slip ups.
I've had chicken maybe like 5 times. or
Okay.
something. Yeah.
All right.
But I've never had red meat or like pork or anything again.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Good for
I'll
you.
have a shrimp occasionally. Don't love them.
See, my parents just made me such a freaking carnivore growing up. Like
Yeah.
I need meat.
Well, also
I
I
love
feel
meat.
like because you have a Portuguese family, you guys also eat meats that aren't like normal meats.
We eat a lot of pork
like,
and different
on the
things like that.
table too.
Yeah.
Like
But Jack, that's the grown up. And now with Jacqueline, you know what's crazy? Like when I moved in with Jack, she always like busted my chops about eating too much red meat. So now we don't eat a lot of red meat like that. It's a lot of fish and chicken and stuff like that mainly.
yeah,
But I freaking love red meat.
me
I love red
too.
meat.
In small quantities, but I do love it.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about finally, we have a TikTok deal. It only took like a year.
Let's talk about it. Who they get?
So what's happening right now, they're getting a few different investors. The deal is that 80% is going to be US investors and 20% is going to be owned by ByteDance. So I don't know how they came to that deal. Because imagine someone coming into your company and saying, hey, for this to continue, you need to relinquish 80% of your company.
Like an overwhelming majority of your company.
And a very overwhelming majority of your
Right.
company. And then outside of that, they're also making sure that any US user data is being moved and stored within the US.
Mhm.
So they're using Oracle for that, their database out in Texas. So all of the user data is US owned, 80% of the company US owned, and they are looking to get this completely wrapped up by like the second week of December. So there's still a few
this
months
year.
of like contracts and things of that sort, but TikTok is not disappearing.
Right.
So all of those TikTok content creators can take a deep breath finally because
Yeah.
you're safe.
Well, one of the things that I had to do. So on that note, though, Larry Olson or Elson, I forget, his name slipped my mind, but the guy who is the founder and owner of Oracle, his net worth went up $100 billion in one day.
Oh my gosh.
Now he's the richest man in the world.
$100 billion
in one day. He's richer than Elon now, and it's because OpenAI and TikTok secured a deal with him for their like servers and stuff.
That's incredible.
So everybody who's investing in Oracle, it just like went crazy.
That's the deal of a lifetime.
Yeah.
Imagine in one day, 100, like, you said B with a B?
With a B. With a B.
$100 billion. I wouldn't know what to do with that much money. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
insane, right?
Yeah.
Insane.
That's a lot of money.
And side note, I was watching Neil deGrasse Tyson, and he said, he was talking about Elon Musk though. He's like, Elon Musk has so much money, right? He's like, if you put $300 billion, he said you could do a lap around the world with like $100 bills like next to each other.
Yeah.
He's like, you could do a lap around the world 3 times, the entire globe 3 times with those $100 bills, and then have enough leftovers still to go from the Earth to the moon.
No way.
That's how much money that is. He's like, I don't think you guys understand how
either
much money.
The Earth is much smaller than I thought, or
no,
that's a lot more money than I thought.
Yeah, billions. It's insane.
That's crazy. All right. That's the end of our topics.
Listen, that's all we got here.
Yeah.
The one thing I will just say is that, again, we're heading into Q4. And when it comes to building content and getting your brand out there, do not be a secret agent. I know so many friends and clients who own businesses that obviously we work with or that I know of, and they're just not doing the right content on their channels right now. And it's like the world that we're going into, especially in 2026, there's a lot of things that obviously over the next few rise and grinds we'll talk about that, we see as predictions. But the biggest thing is like creating really great content, like you can't hide from. And so if you're not creating good content and you're not building your brand on social media, you are really significantly hurting your business. You're hurting your brand. And ultimately, you're not going to get the sales you want from it. Mm-hmm. Right. And I always like to use the example. So I'm going to put Emily on the spot for this one. So Emily, get ready. All right. Emily was sleeping over there for a second. But all right, ready? Put it on your cam. So when you think about one hamburger that you can get anywhere in the world,
you asked the vegetarian.
Exactly. That's the point.
Wait, so if I could get anyone?
No. When you think about one hamburger that's popularized, but you can get it anywhere in the world, what hamburger do you think about?
McDonald's.
Yep, McDonald's. Right. Exactly. Thank you. And it's like, it's not because it's a great hamburger. It's a terrible hamburger for you. Like the stuff in it's bad. Sorry, Mickey D's. But it's like not great for you. But the point is, like, they're just so branded. They market the shit out of themselves. They're everywhere. So when you think about a burger or something quick and fast, you think about McDonald's or Wendy's, whatever else. So it's like at the end of the day, for your brand and for your business, you have to be thinking this way, guys. And even for people, I know we've said this over the years, even for people who are just thinking about yourselves in your career, right? Like your personal brand is also really important too. And so like, again, like if you're not on LinkedIn talking about what you do or showcasing your subject matter expertise, then like when you're getting hunted or if you're looking for a new gig, like you're not going to be somebody who's going to stand out. So ultimately you have to always be building a brand, whether it's for your personal or it's for your business or for both. Like it's really important that you do that. Because bottom line is people, even if they're buying into a business, they're buying into a person, right? They trust somebody in that business and they're going to work with it or they're not. It's that simple. So bottom line is going into Q4, start prepping for 2026, build a great brand on social media because guys, it is freaking everything. And because this is still a newer thing, we got to have Em kick us off with our Motivation Monday.
I was really hoping you didn't do it today.
Which is why we had to do
My
it.
Motivation Monday. Well, I mean,
channel your inner yogi.
Meg, how do you like watching this for once?
It's amazing.
Instead of Meg on
is like living her best life right now.
I'm like, she's so motivational. You're so motivational.
I'm so motivational.
Yeah.
I know. The only thing I could think about right now is that I slept 11 hours last night and I'm feeling great. So my motivation is just use your weekends to recharge and get some rest so that you're ready to rock it on Monday.
I like it.
That.
Well, hold on.
I mean, John's like, absolutely not. Let's come up with something.
I'm not even off. That's too easy. No, but geez Louise, what am I thinking about here? Man, I feel like you put up something. I forget. I was on Adapting Socials page and I was like looking at your channel like a couple days ago, and you put up something. It was like a sizzle of like I don't know, like maybe a bunch of shit you like were doing over a certain period of time, but the caption was really nice. And I don't know why I feel like that's like the vibe that I was expecting.
Was it a
summer recap?
I don't know. I don't remember. It was a couple days. It was like maybe a couple weeks ago, but that's when I saw it at least. But it was like I think Moo is in it, so it had to
Okay.
be pretty recent.
Yeah, I know which one it was. It was
Okay.
saying it was like every day that I spend with you is
Yeah,
like
yeah, that
I'm living
one.
in an answered prayer.
Yes.
Yeah.
But anyway, so hold on, back to me.
Yeah.
Right? And then get ready to go back to you though. Get ready to go back to you though. But I saw that and I was like, yo, wow. Because how often do we wish that we had, you know, our lives to be a certain way? And then boom, we're fucking living it one day and we're just like, yo, we're here.
That's
right?
very true.
Mhm.
And so I saw that, and that's why I'm thinking about this, because like, you know, I'm like, I like to, I don't follow any of the team because I like everyone to live their own lives and I want to be, you know, to whatever. But I obviously, you know, adapting social does. So once in a while, I'll
You
go
can
show
follow
some
me,
love.
Josh.
Yeah,
I'll allow it.
I'll go show some love and be like, what's up? Like, but anyway, so like I saw you were at like the top of a post and whatever. So then I clicked on it. I was like, yo, that's a fire caption.
Thanks.
That was a fire caption.
I'm so
And
glad you
I
liked
feel
my
like-
content.
What'd you say?
I said I'm so glad you liked my content.
Yeah, I did. But ultimately, like, I feel like that should be the motivation Monday, right? Because how many people out there right now are like, damn, you know, I wish I had this. I wish I was praying for this, asking the universe for this, whatever the hell. And now you might have this and it could be stressful. And it's like, damn, like for me, as an example, you know, Chenzo obviously has a heart condition, right?
Mhm.
And so like he can't get fevers, he can't get sick. And like, you know, Jack and I have to always run to the hospital when he's sick and stuff. And it's like just scary. It's a scary situation with the heart. So it's like, but like, you know, I found myself thinking about what you said actually this weekend, which is why I brought that up. And I asked you that to do your motivation Monday, because I was like, damn, like over the weekend, I'm like all stressed out. I'm all anxious. I'm like, damn, Chenzo, like I don't want him to be sick because I want to go in the hospital again. And it's like, you know, at one point me and Jacqueline couldn't have kids. Right.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh my God, I prayed all the time for it. Now I have 3 kids. And I have, you know, a kid who has a heart condition, right? But like, I still pray for this regardless, right? So it's you're never gonna get it exactly how you want it, but like, you're gonna get it, right? If you fight for it. So either way, I thought that caption was so fire.
Thank you.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about that though? Give us the thought behind it for you though.
Well, I feel like just, I don't know, life, you know, just keeps happening and there's always like a new thing maybe you want or you're trying to get to, or maybe even like the thing that you asked for is stressing you out. But I feel like it's just a reminder to like live in the moment and live in gratitude for everything, because there'll always be like something else you could be working for or striving for. But like you have to remember again that what you have right now is like something maybe you used to wish for so much.
Yeah. Boom. Let's go. Em just crushed
And
it.
John's
Motivation
and John's
Monday.
gonna make me cry on air. So here we go.
Wait,
Back to
back to Em. Let's
I
get
saw
that. I love that. No, you have such a great heart, Em. And I think at the end of the day, it's like it's just one of those things where it's like, you know, life is so amazing and it's so fragile and it's so emotional because it's so real.
Mhm.
And it's like when you like see like just the things that like, so perfect example right now. I'm gonna go, just shut me up if I keep rambling, Megan, because you know me.
Already, shh.
Okay. But it's one of those things where it's like so my mom and my dad had this old camcorder, and in a nutshell, what the hell? In a nutshell, Photo Center in Brick does like they can grab VHSs
Mm.
and they can make a digital version of it.
Oh,
So-
that's good to know.
So yeah, so they have like camcorder and they had some old VHSs. So I brought them there, and we're about to get them redone again. And I remember I'm sitting there, and there's footage of me like back in the day, like when I'm like literally like I don't even know. I think I was probably like in 4th or 3rd grade, and I'm like skateboarding and like doing funny things
Aw.
and like whatever else. And I'm just like, you know what, like I had this like wholesome moment when I was like watching some of it, because it's like, you know, at that point in time, that younger version of myself, like there was a lot of different traumas happening at that time. And it's like, you know, the person that I am today, right? It like, I know that person would be proud of, that kid
Mhm.
version of me would be proud of, but also the father I am today would have made that kid feel so safe.
Oh,
And
that's so beautiful.
You know what I mean? And it's like, but it's
Are
like,
we all gonna start crying?
I don't know, but I was tearing up over the weekend, and I was like, damn, thinking about this shit, because you know what, as people, like we all have, you know, fucked up shit that's happened to all of us, like
Yeah.
you know, just scary stuff or things that have like given us our own traumas and stuff. And so like over the weekend, like I was like just thinking about it, and I was talking like I'll mentor some kids here and there, and you know that are younger and stuff. And I was introduced to somebody over the weekend that I was like DMing with, and it made me think about it, 'cause when I was watching those videos and thinking about it, like I've said this a lot over the years with you and on podcasts and stuff like that. But it's like, my first question now that I ask people that I meet, it's a brand new thing. Just started this. So I'll ask people what, I look at him. I love how much Megan loves this, because Megan's normally the one in the hot seat.
I feel so relaxed this morning. Like, it's not me.
Yeah. And was not prepared. But my first question I ask somebody when I meet them now is, what were your advantages growing up and what were your disadvantages? And I start by saying that, like, an advantage is not like growing up with having money. That's actually a disadvantage. So like, what were your advantages that were your struggles, right? Because ultimately, like, when you're like, the challenges that I had with my family, whether it's financially or, you know, my dad had some challenges and stuff, it's like, those things were actually my advantages. At the time, they seemed like disadvantages, but I'm sitting in the chair that I'm in right now because I had to step up as a young kid when I was like 8 or 9 or 10 to you know, be like a kind of like, you know, a man of the house too. So, but if I didn't have that advantage because of the disadvantage, then I wouldn't be me, right? And I wouldn't be in my position. So right, that's my new question, everybody, now, where I'm like, so what was your disadvantages that gave you your advantages? And because that's what makes us, right? And obviously you have similar things in your life, and that's what that your disadvantages that made your advantages were too. So ultimately, that's my new questions that I ask people. And I think ultimately, like, when you think about that for everybody out there, and I'm just like, you know what, going into 2026, like, I read this thing where apparently with the advances of AI and tech, it's going to, apparently, I don't know if this is true. I saw this on social. I was reading into it, but apparently in the next few years, there's going to be almost zero mental health challenges, anxiety, depression, because they're going to figure out, AI is in the process of trying to figure out the way to completely remove those circuits in our brain.
Wow.
And how we can do that better.
That's actually crazy.
Yo, we're all like, thank God, yo.
Thank God for AI. But do you think that's really possible? Like, just like the humanness of it. Like, it's like kind of part of being a human, isn't it?
Well, I'm saying more so the like disorder side of it, right? Like for me, like I grew up with, and I still to this day, like have like my own anxiety disorder, where it's like, as an example, like if like something bad happens, right? Like if somebody bangs on that door, right? And it sounds really loud, and it's like somebody's gonna come hurt us, like, and then the door opens and it's Moo, right? We'd all be like, oh, this is Moo, we're good, right? But like somebody like myself, like my adrenaline doesn't just shut off like that, right? So like I'll feel anxious for a little while after that, right? So like, but it's all things. So I think that there will be, I'm very confident in that, because I've been able to, like, myself, like over like my whole life, like I've never taken any sort of like drugs or medication to help it, right? I've always just did it myself, and I've got myself to a really good spot doing it that way. And I think ultimately, like, it's a lot of inner work, but I think what you know, AI is trying to figure out is what inner work can be the most effective so that you don't have to do anything, right? So I don't know, we'll see what happens. But my point in bringing this all up is that moving into 2026, we have to understand, like, the obviously we've all had different traumas in our lives, but I think the things that, again, were our disadvantages, some of the people that I know that I love and respect so much have gone through so much when they were kids, or in their, you know, adolescence.
Actually, the most successful, smartest, most just like resourceful people I know are people who had the most disadvantageous lifestyles growing up.
100%. Right. But, and that's my point, is like your disadvantage. We're gonna have to rename the podcast. Yeah. That's it. We just changed the podcast name. Right? I'm not even kidding. But it's like again, like those are our traumas and our disadvantages when we were younger. Like, not everybody turns that into benefit, right? Some people don't, right? But
that's true.
But for the people out there that I know that are really great people, or like the best fathers or the best mothers, or like the best leaders, you know, or just really good people, like they went through stuff and they wanted to like live a different way because of how they went. So anyway, my point is, going into 2026 energy, right? That main character energy, right?
When John learns cool words. I actually haven't heard you use that in a while. The first week you learned what that was. Yeah. I think everyone
I'm standing on business, y'all. Okay. 10 toes on business today, y'all. I'm going to throw out all my Gen Z lingos.
I'm going to get you a Gen Z dictionary so you can use a new one every week.
We're standing on business, everybody. 10 toes on business today. But anyway, it's one of those things where at the end of the day, it's like, you know, if you look at it like that, I think 2026 energy is like your disadvantages you know, for most people that I know, and that for me have became my advantages. And so obviously if that's not you, hopefully you're able to change that mindset and turn it around, but you have the ability to do so. And I think I saw this, and this is my last ramble. I saw this video on Diary of a CEO. And essentially they were showing how when you they put a spider on a white piece of paper and they drew a little black circle around it with a pen, and the spider like wouldn't cross it, right? So it was like just staying there, right? They did it with like a bunch of spiders and it never crossed anything, right? And then they kept making it. So it started off this big one and then a big circle, and then they made it smaller and smaller and smaller, and it wouldn't leave until it got so tight that it had no choice, but like it just like kind of went over. Like, oh crap, like I could go over this thing, right? And then every example they gave those spiders when they just kept going over the boundary. But the point of what it made was that mentally we put these barriers in front of us where it's like we can't, we're confined, right? We can't cross this line. And then once those spiders realized that, yeah, you can cross the line, it never went back. You can never not cross that line again. So it's like mentally, like that's the point where I'm saying like going into 26, that's 26 energy, right? The shit that we thought was holding us back ain't actually going to hold us back if you keep pushing yourself to get past it. And I think that's the key. That's 2026 energy. I'm John. We're standing on business, y'all. We got main character energy here.
This is where we end Rise and Grind.
This is our therapy session today.
Yeah, today's our therapy session. We're all crying a little bit. But anyway, I hope everybody creates a great week ahead. I feel this is a power week. We're about to crush this week here.
Yeah, it's power week.
Megan, hope you have a good week. Em, I hope you have a good week. Let's get after it, guys, and hope you watching have an even better week. Take care.